So they came back with Arthur and Hope, and they're getting, meal. They go to this gas station restaurant though, which I'm like, them really be like the best spots. So, and then in the inside, it looked like there was people in there. So I'm like, okay. And they had like the good soul food. So I'm like, never judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? But they go get some food, and while they're eating and stuff, it gets emotional. And I'm like, trying to fight back the tears because they get into the conversation because Hope's kind of like, where have y'all been, and then his mom is like, well, we've been right here, and then he's like, well, I mean, they have been there for me when they could, you know what I mean, not as consistent as like Hope, you know what I mean. So he did say that right in front of his mama. So that's when I got emotional because his mom's like, when he first went to jail, he was 17 and she wasn't done raising him yet, and to have to get up and leave your child there, you know what I mean, when the visit is over, it's hard. And then at first, for a long time, she was supporting him every month, a couple times a month, put money on his books, on the phone, everything. And then when he got out, he would do stuff to like not to go right back. So, she was like disappointed, you know what I mean? So they like talked it out. He like started crying and they hugged it out. And I was like, I love it. Like, I love to see like emotional men and like breakthroughs, like vulnerable. I love to see the vulnerability. So shout out to Arthur for that. I really love to see that. And then his mom, is pushing that she really want him to move back to Vegas with her and her family. But he like, look, I'm a grown man and I want to give this a try with Hope. So Hope's like, well, I already know his mama don't like me, but I didn't put in too much work to let her run me off. So I ain't going nowhere. And then his mama was like, y'all gonna be living in the truck? So she was trying to act like the truck is too good for him to be staying in. But it's like, she hooked the truck up for him. I mean, it looked okay in there and stuff. And I mean, she's a truck driver. But that's all that happened. Yeah. So they come back with Julian and Christine, and she finally gets out. We get to see them do the actual hug. And I'm like, okay. They fall on the ground, do all the PDA. And I'm like, dang. It was a lot of PDA. So, they can't wait to get back to the hotel room. He showed her the banner, give her the cat. She like, this is the best release date ever. But what did pause me was, he was like, she went back because she failed a drug test for like weed and stuff like that. And I'm like, the way she like looking like moving her jaw cannot be weed. And then she get on there and tell us that her ex got her hooked on the needle. And I'm like, I knew it. And that's why she got into robbing banks, because she needed the money. And so she Googled it and they say you just gotta write it down. Nobody try this. Y'all, we don't got time. Don't be going to jail. Come on now. Live your life. Go find a hustle. But anyway, you just write it down and then they gotta give it to you. And then she was like, at first she realized after the first time she didn't get caught. So she went back and started doing it again. And then that's how she got caught. And I'm like, you shouldn't do that all, girl. Like, I mean, I can't even judge because she was addicted to the needle, which she was introduced to by her boyfriend. So it was a lot. But, they was all PDA'd up. And then they go over to Zariah and Troy, and he getting out. But it's like a whole chaos around it. So I guess, the PO text or whatever, that he got to be picked up by the PO or whatever. So I guess they come there, they rush him in the car, and then they like high speed chasing down the highway, following the POs to, I guess, a different jail. And then her parents is following them and everything. And then he in the other jail, they standing outside the other jail just waiting, and nobody knows what's going on, why everything got changed. I guess the parole officer changed it like last night, knowing that the family was supposed to come pick him up, and they didn't even tell the family till right when he was supposed to be released. So everybody confused. They like, the family like, should we be high speed chasing, these people? And it's crazy. Nobody knows what's going on. And then they standing outside the jail, they're talking about how they violating his rights and how people need to know that this is how prisoners be getting treated. That's why I'm like, y'all don't be going to jail. Don't be treating. You see how. Anyways, but that's all that happened. See y'all at the next commercial. So they come back with Shanta and True, and they get to the Airbnb. True is super shocked because, Airbnb was not a thing when he went to jail. So The last time he been in the house was his mama house, and he not really trusting the Airbnbs because he feel like it's hidden cameras everywhere. But that's kind of how I be feeling too, though. It's like, I know it's illegal, but people be crazy. Anyways, so he get into the room. They trying out different beds, you know, because they got the whole house to themselves, so they trying out different beds, and they decide on like he want to sleep with the soft bed. So they get in there, and he start pulling out all the stuff that he bought at the sex shop, basically. And Shanta's sitting over there all shy, talking about somehow she inexperienced. But I'm like, don't she got kids? But then she hasn't actually done anything in like 5 years, she said. But I'm like, I mean, is it new? I mean, it's like, I mean, I know it's new ways, but it's the same thing, like, since the beginning of time. Anyways, so he pick her up, they go in the shower, and she like, you know, in the back of her mind, she just afraid that she gonna find out something about him, but she in love with him. And I'm like, girl, in the back of your mind, your conscience is telling you what you need to do, and your love is just clouding what your mind is telling you. You know what I mean? But girl, she did get the Airbnb for like 7 days so they could do a trial before she introduced him to her kids, which I was like, that's the smartest thing she done did this whole time. Like, see, she kind of listening, so I commend her on that. At the end of the episode, they go in the bathroom. They wake up Shanta wakes up the next morning, and then she tells us while she's looking out the window that they did the nasty last night, and then True is nowhere to be found, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and she looking out the window. So it is not looking good. Like, Shanta, girl, we tried to warn you. He already tried to tell you that he ain't like you in so many ways, and you done drained your savings. This is why it is important to listen to your head, and it is important to deliver the message. Anyways, it is very important. Listen up. Hey guys, it's very important to love yourself more than the other person. In the sense of, you are not going to jeopardize your well-being just to make them better or for their well-being. You know what I mean? Like, no. Self-love, people. Self-love. So, that was the end of the episode. And I'm over here like, Shanta, girl, I understand, though. We all done had one. You get the one, you learn the lesson. But, girl, learn your lesson. Love yourself. Start working on yourself. And move on. I don't know. Some people are addicted to chaos, though. That's a whole nother thing. Thank you guys for watching. And like, comment, subscribe, share, all of the things. What was your favorite part of the episode? What are y'all thinking about Shanta and True? Because what? And see y'all next week.